and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is McKenzie and this is Made by McKenzie. And today what we're going to do is we're going to go into the dark side of crochet. We're going to look at all of my crochet amigurumi and plushies and things that I made that are in my rejects pile or my rejects bag. And these are just all the things that, in my personal opinion, are not good enough to take to market for the various reasons that you will see for each of these projects. So let's get started. They're in no particular order, they're just whatever I pull out of the bag. But okay, let's start with this one. So this is a little clownfish. I didn't like the way that the color change was happening here on the side. And then also, this was one of my first projects that I didn't know that whenever you do plushies and amigurumi, you're supposed to use a smaller hook size than what the skein recommended. And so you can see like the holes in his body, and then his tail just, I don't know what was going on with his tail, but his tail just wasn't happening. And he's crooked too. Like his face is here, but his tail is, I don't know. So he's in my rejects bag. Okay, this one was a pattern off of Etsy that I bought. It was these dog pattern, and I don't know, it just looks, she used Parfait Chunky and I was using Bernat Blanket, and I don't know, it just still looks a little off. I'm sure once I like do the nose and the ears, it would look more like what it's supposed to. But I just kind of got frustrated with it and set it aside, and I just haven't gotten back to it. But that's why he's in my rejects pile. Oh, and plus I didn't stuff him enough, so I'd have to try and see if I can get a little bit more stuffing into him through one of these stitches, which would be time consuming. So that's why he's in the rejects pile. Okay, this one was a blueberry, but whenever I was tightening the hole to close, I snapped my yarn and didn't have any more to like close it, and I just didn't know how to fix that. And so I mean, I guess I could use like some worsted weight yarn and try and get it to close, but that's why I snapped my yarn. And you know, by the time that I kind of came back around to him, it just didn't seem like blueberries were very popular. I guess, I don't know, I guess I just got frustrated with it, and so he went into the rejects pile. Okay, this one was a dinosaur, and this one was a free one on YouTube. I don't know what about him. I don't know, his nose or something. And then I just needed to sew on his tail and his spikes, but I also ran out of this color yarn, and I just haven't been able to get the exact dye lot, and so that's why he's in my rejects pile. Okay, so if you saw my last video, you saw that I really do like Rose and Lily patterns from YouTube. This is one of her patterns, and it's supposed to be a hedgehog, and when you look at it, it is super, super cute. But you do have to go back after you make the body, you do have to go back and crochet all the little loops for his, you know, fluff on the back of him, and that was just really time consuming. And I knew that once I completed it, and if I sold it, I would probably have to sell it more than what I would personally pay for it, because of all the time that went into it. And whenever I do these craft shows and fairs, I try and price my items, you know, reasonably, that people will, you know, will buy them, even if some other crocheters and artists think that I'm undercharging for my work. I mean, I'm still paying what I think I'm valued at, and I also, you know, want to make sure that I'm not overpricing any of my projects. So maybe I will finish him and keep him for myself just so that he is finished, because I really do like Rose and Lily's patterns. This one was just going to be really time consuming. Okay, so this is one of my non-amigurumi things. This one is a little baby blessing christening dress. It was going to be for my sister-in-law, But then I found another pattern that had a little bit more flowy, roughly skirt and sleeves that I liked better. So that one is just in my, you know, maybe someone at church will have another baby girl and I can, you know, finish this one and give that one to her. So that's why it's in the rejects pile. Okay, I ran out of stuffing one time, and so a lot of these projects that we'll see, it's without stuffing, so I'm just trying to figure things out. Hang on, little one, I'm doing a video. Sorry, my daughter. It's what happens whenever you're a stay-at-home mom with kids, trying to also do a business. You got kids in the background. But this one was supposed to be like a bandana, and it's fine. It just doesn't sit. Maybe it's just my head. I don't know. If like I were to tie it, it just doesn't, it's not quite right. I don't know. Maybe I could put it on my dog and it could be like a dog bandana, but that's why it's in that pile. Oh, here's another hedgehog. I really do want to find a cute hedgehog pattern because I think they're just adorable. But this one was one. This one used two different types of yarn. It started off with worsted weight and then it went into the fluffy brunette, which I don't know. I didn't quite like how the connection was. It just didn't quite look right. So it's really not bad. It just, maybe if I, you know, sew some crocheted eyes on, maybe, you know, I'll be happy with it. And maybe like do a little bit of feet. But I don't know, I just wasn't quite happy with it, so I didn't, you know, finish it. Okay, this one was mine. If you saw in my last video the little baby chicks, that was my pattern. This is one of the first times making it. And I used, again, way too big of a hook size, and so there's holes all within it. And it wasn't stuffed enough. So that's why it's in this one. Okay, this one we will come back to because there's another piece that I know is in the back. Okay, this one is supposed to be a little crab, but I could not figure out how to do the little pincher claws, the top pincher claws. I couldn't understand what the pattern was asking me to do. And so I was gonna come back and do like crochet little hearts and then like sew the hearts on to act as the pinchers, but I just got a little frustrated with it, and so that's why it was put into the pile. Okay, this one is supposed to be Black Panther. This one was a pattern, I think, by Fancy Llama on YouTube, and it's fine. It looks okay. It definitely looked better in the worsted weight yarn that she did it. I'm not unhappy with it, but there's just something, I don't know, something about it. Maybe it's because sometimes whenever you use black and you stuff it with, you know, white polyfill, it just gets really dirty and really fuzzy everywhere. So maybe if I did it again but use like a darker stuffing, I would like it better. I don't know, but I really do just need to finish him just to see, you know, because he's got all these tails that I need to finish sewing in. But that's him. Okay, so this is a cat pattern. I was testing him out. I don't think you can tell on camera, but his paws are like super crooked. And this was also during the time whenever I didn't know that, you know, you get that little kind of pointy thing at the top. But he just, I don't know, he's not, I just didn't quite like him. And also this one was made from a yarn that I got off of the Facebook market page. It was just like a big bag of Bernat yarn. And this one was the only one that it wasn't soft anymore. It's kind of a little stiff, I guess is the best way to put it. And so I was just kind of using it to test out this pattern to see if I like this pattern. And, you know, that's it. Okay, this one was a free one on Instagram. It's supposed to be like a chubby panda, but you had to sew on like the nose, the ears, the paws, and that was a little bit too much sewing for what I wanted to do at the time. So it didn't work out. Maybe I'll finish him and see what he actually looks like complete, because I think he probably would be pretty cute as a big chubby fat panda, but that's him. Okay, I found the rest of that one. Here we go. It's supposed to be, it was a free one on Ribbler, I believe, and it's supposed to be a llama, and I kind of ran out. I think his neck needs to be a little bit longer, and I kind of ran out of yarn. I mean, maybe I could get away with doing a row or two, but I just felt like his neck was too short for his body. That was the only reason that this one is not completed, because I ran out of this yarn, and ever since then I have not been able to find the right dye lot. Bernat has, I guess, maybe changed their dye lot, and there's nothing wrong with the new one. I really actually do like the new one maybe a little bit better than this color. It's just that I don't have any more of the previous color to fix it. So that's why he's still in the to be continued bag. Okay, this one's terrible. So this one is supposed to be a starfish, but it required a lot of sewing and turned out really big. This one was going to be the pattern I was going to use for my Kirby on a star, but I didn't quite like how this star was, you know, turning out. It was too pointy. And so if you've seen my Kirby on a star, you've seen that it's more of a swoosh, you know, very curvy kind of star. Oh, there's fluffers all over the place. So that's why that one's in the pile. Okay, this one is supposed to be a taco, and I just wasn't liking how it was turning out. It wasn't giving it the effect that I was hoping for. So that's why the taco, I don't know, it looks weird. I was supposed to go in and add some like green for the lettuce, but that didn't happen. Okay, this one okay. So this is supposed to be a little like rubber duck, and I really do actually like this pattern. Kind of forgot about this pattern, to be honest. But I don't quite like the face. Something about this face is not, I don't know, it reminds me of the movie The Devil Wears Prada, when she, you know, if she pushes her lips, it's like a disaster and you need to start your collection all over again or something like that. That's just kind of giving me that vibe. I wonder if I just cut the beak off and used worsted weight, I would like it better. Maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'm gonna put that over here because I think I will try that, because I really do like that chick pattern. I think it's super cute. Okay, this one was supposed to be like a little bird. I had made this one in the spring for a spring market that I was going to go to. Turned out that market was a scam, and I didn't get my money back, and I was super sad and kind of depressed, and lost my, you know, will to crochet because I was so upset. So he remains unfinished. So just be careful out there if you're doing craft shows. Make sure that you are contacting the venue themselves to make sure that there's an event there, and make sure that you're, you know, use good judgment whenever it comes to paying for booths and things like that. So keep that in mind. But maybe I will finish him and put him like on my mantle, like whenever spring comes, because I think he would be really cute finished. Okay, this one I was gonna make a whole nativity set for my mother-in-law because she collects nativities, but she doesn't have a crochet one. They have to be unique nativities, so she has so many that they've got to be like something unique. So I was gonna crochet her one, and so this is the little baby Jesus for it, but he just, I don't know, his head is like too big for his body or something. I don't know, or his nose. I don't know, something about him, I wasn't very happy with him, and I didn't want to gift him and finish the nativity set whenever I wasn't happy with how baby Jesus was looking. Okay. This next one was a pattern off of Instagram, and it's supposed to be Umbreon. And I was gonna make it for my brother-in-law, but it was a lot of sewing involved, and I wasn't confident in my sewing abilities with this one because I had to sew on his ears. There was going to be 4 paws and his tail, and trying to get all that, you know, in line wasn't gonna happen. So that's why he's in that bag. This one, actually, there's nothing really wrong with this one here. This one was a free one, I think, on Instagram. There's nothing really wrong with this one. It's just that I ran out of this color yarn for the Parfait Chunky, and I haven't really bought Parfait Chunky since. That's why he's unfinished. I just gotta finish his tail, but that's why he's in the bag, because I ran out of yarn. I lost a yarn chicken on him. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so this one was a free one on YouTube, and it's supposed to be, let's see here, supposed to be a s'more, which I think is still kind of cute. I just don't like how flimsy the crackers are. And so I need to like double it up and then sew it together to make it more stiff, and maybe even sew in some like what is that called, the like felt or something, like a thicker fabric to keep it straight. And then I ended up running out of this color anyways, and like I said, I just haven't really bought Parfait Chunky since then. It's a little bit more, for me, it's more accessible to get the Bernat blanket from my Joann's. So that's why I use Bernat blanket the most. Plus, I really like it. Alrighty. We're getting down to the bottom here. So these are like little wristlets that I was gonna make during that time I didn't have stuffing. I was kind of trying out new things, and I didn't have any of like the D-rings to actually make them into wristlets. So that's why they're in here. Oh, this is one of the first times that I did the baby Triceratops pattern. Forgot about this one. There's nothing wrong with him. He just doesn't have any eyes. So maybe I can just like embroider some eyes on and then put them on a keychain, and then I could sell them or put them on my keychain. But there's him. Okay. So this one was just a little free dino that was on Ribbler. I didn't have any safety eyes at the time, so that's why he doesn't have any eyes. There's nothing wrong with him or the pattern. I don't know, his head itself I didn't quite like. So, and then I made a little donut. I sewed the middle of it not right. It was wrong. So I would have to go back and just fix the way that is sewn. It was just a little donut. Okay, and then these ones are the antlers for my Darcy deer. Whenever I made that one that you saw in the last video, when I did the horns on him, I finished them, and then I realized that this color was not the same color as the other set of horns that I did. And it wasn't exactly like, I asked my husband, he was like, you can't really tell, but I could tell, and it was gonna bother me, so I remade them, and so I just keep them in my bag in case I do make that deer again and I can match these horns to it. But that is everything that I have in my bag. Oh, let me show you guys this guy. So this is Rose and Lily. This is my husband's. I gave it to him. It was probably one of my first big ones that I did, and I do love him. It was definitely during the time where I didn't know about the crochet hook that I needed to go smaller, so he's got holes in him. I didn't know about the invisible decrease at the time, and so you can see his holes there. I did have safety eyes, and I thought you could get away with these super tiny ones. So he's got super tiny eyes. My husband keeps them on his desk, and it's just, this is me sewing on all the spikes. You can tell the spikes are not sewn properly, but I love him. I do love him. I can't believe my husband keeps him on his desk all the time. And it definitely shows you like where you're at. So if you compare this to, you know, things that you saw at my last market video, like I've grown quite a bit whenever it comes to sewing, and I've learned so much about the different techniques that you need whenever it comes to sewing, like the invisible decrease and making sure that you use a smaller hook size whenever you're doing amigurumi than if you're actually, you know, crocheting a blanket. So anyways, but I'm so thankful for all of these. You know, they make me laugh, and you know, it was a process. It was things that you learn. So if you're starting out crocheting and you know your things kind of look like some of the things that I have in front of me, you know, you're gonna get better if you keep practicing, and then you can look back at them and laugh and, you know that, you know, your skills set have increased, and that you can, you know, fix maybe some of the things and actually be really happy with them and really proud of them. But that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.